Welcome back to CodyCrafted. Today we build a custom 2-in-1 3-inch exhaust system for our red truck, and the front axles are like 4 inches wider than the rear. So we show you how to square the stance on your square body truck. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoy. What do you think?
Click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you would like more content, follow social media at CodyCrafted on Instagram.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are building custom 2-in-1 exhaust for our red Chevy square body. Customer specifically wants to keep the manifolds, and we need to add some ground clearance, and we are also rubbing the drive shaft right here with our new lift. So we got to make some changes. Nobody makes this part, so that's the part where I do what I do so you can do what you do. Check it out. We hope you enjoy. Alright, so as you can see with our new lift, we're actually getting some interference right here at the front drive shaft, and these factory Y-pipe setups, number one, they don't flow very well. Number two, they hang down a lot. And number three, this thing is about done. Check this out, bro. Okay, she gone. So we already got rid of the rest of it. It was all rotted out at the back. We've been test running it with straight open Y-pipe and got rid of the big old pancake catalytic converter. And so we're going with 2 1/4 inch into a 3-inch with a Y-pipe. And then we're gonna run 3-inch out the back. I've got a couple of different muffler options for the customer, so we're gonna see what falls into that sweet spot for him. As you know me, really dialing in the exhaust is real important for me. So let's make sure it sounds good and performs good and looks cool. So let's get to work. So now that you've seen some mock-up and whatnot, we're to the point now where we have got to decide which muffler we're going to run. We got 3 options. We got Rowdy, Shorty Boy number 1. We got this guy, which is performance-oriented, however, much more tame, because not straight through. It's not straight through. So, and these are just the mufflers that I have in stock. This is just what I've got sitting here. Right now, underneath we've got the MBRP that came with another kit that droned really bad on my V10 truck. So I wound up putting a bigger muffler on it. So this thing's got about 5 miles of use because I ordered one immediately. And I really want to see how it sounds on this little motor. Be aware we do have exhaust leaks. It's not fully welded out. But if I'm going to keep designing, I got to know what I'm designing around. So let's fire this little 305 up. that's not that bad. This was on the clearance rack at Summit. I don't know what it's for. It was 35 bucks though. Normally 91. So the plan is to use this as a resonator on my truck to try to kill some of the drone on my V10. And we'll throw the donkey on it.
Simulated exhaust.
Simulated tailpipe. Okay. Now, be mindful, it really wasn't that loud, even with a stock Wi-Fi open. It is just an 80s 305. Noticeably louder. Good tone though.
Sounds great.
Really good tone.
I don't know if you'd appreciate that.
That thing's got a really good tone. I like that.
It's pretty good.
I mean, I wouldn't pay $100 for it, but for $35 off scratch and dent. On if this was a two-wheel drive truck with like, you know, ride tech suspension and stuff, that'd be the ticket.
Yep. Keep that one in inventory. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I bet you like got me more.
Well, there's actually another one out there, but it's not 3-inch.
Yeah.
There's a Flowmaster that's like 2.5. Okay. So let's try this guy. This is the AP. I think it's the AP exhaust Enforcer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 4 inches long and 3-inch in, 3-inch out, 7-inch diameter. All right, one more time. See, it's not quiet.
It's not quiet, no, but it's also not rowdy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I like those. That's what we put on the bus for Bahia.
Oh yeah.
Jay's bus. Yeah, and it's got a 6-liter with manifolds on it. So I like it. I think it'll work. All right, so we've got the exhaust all welded up, and now we have one little issue. We have a broken stud on the exhaust manifold. Hopefully the rest of them aren't a problem, but let's go check this out. I'll grab my light for you. So, as you guys can see, 2 out of the 3 are okay, but that is old and crusty, man. We're gonna do our best to try to get that fixed. So the trick is gonna be, we're going to weld a nut to it, and hopefully the heat will help break up the corrosion. I've already sprayed all this stuff long ago with PB Blaster, so that's how we got 5 out of the 6 to come off. but this sixth one is going to throw us for a loop. Hope you guys can hear me. The trick here is you have to hold the nut over what's left of the stud and then give it enough to weld to. Yeah, I think that's plenty warm. So we want that heat to transfer into the manifold to make the manifold expand and the corrosion to break up. Alright, then we'll grab a socket. There's two schools of thought on this. One is hard and fast, and the other is slow and steady, and we're going to start with hard and fast. Nope. Fail. Alright, we'll get another nut. Try it again. Alright. Give that a second. And let's see if this will work. Nope. Damn it. Okay, after 4 attempts of welding a nut to the broke off stud, which is still faster than drilling it out, we have made enough progress. We might be able to get this thing out of here. Alright, sometimes it takes a few tries. Ah, you son of a... This sucks. This sucks a lot. I need a beer. What do you think? He didn't want a tip, so I said we should hide it. I think it's pretty well hidden. Throw a little black spray paint on it. Alright, so typically I am not a fan of wheel spacers. They are not my favorite thing. I generally find them to be kind of a cheap way out instead of buying the right wheels. The problem is, square body trucks, the front end is several inches wider than the rear, and this truck actually looks goofy. You can really tell it once we've gone to an oversized tire. Also, this is a cruising truck. It is not getting jumped. It is not towing stuff. It is a cruiser. So in this application, instead of changing out to a big old wide rear end, we're doing spacers. If you're gonna do spacers, the main thing you need to focus on is buying quality parts. The junk off eBay and the cheapest stuff on Amazon is not the way to go. Not the way to go at all. So, we got these from Synergy, and I've had good luck with these the few times I've used them. The problem with wheel spacers for this truck is these are 7/16 by 20 thread lug nuts. And nobody makes a 7/16 20 wheel spacer because we want matching lugs on the wheels. We don't want to have two different sizes and worry about the customer getting them mixed up in the future. So what I did was I popped out the wheel studs that come with the spacers on the press. Measured the knurl diameter, and even though these are metric, there is an exact replica or exact match to this Dorman stud. That is a .555 shank right here, this knurling part. So these pressed in very easily, and they are super stout. I have no reason not to trust them for this application. Now, if you're doing more hardcore stuff and you're not just cruising the thing on Sundays and, you know, driving it to work on Fridays when it's nice, probably not the way to go. But for this, it's what we're going to do. One of the things to make sure you do is use a quality thread locker. These Synergy spacers come with a little tube of it, and make sure they're torqued. So, take our thread locker and make sure you save enough to do the other side. Put on the spacer. And then we got lug nuts. These are, once again, from Dorman, and nothing special about them. 7/16 20. They're nice and short, but deep enough to make sure we got full thread engagement. Now I could have swapped these out to 1/2-inch studs, but then we would have had to pull the axles back out to knock them out, and the brake drums wouldn't have been an off-the-shelf item. So every time you service the brakes or put new brake drums on, or replace the brake drums, you would have had to drill out the holes in the brake drums. So I just wanted to make it simple for long term. Just wanted to make it simple for long-term serviceability. Now that we've got them all started and the spacer is seated properly, torque them. And as usual, answer the freaking phone. Alright, so I ran them down with the torque stick, and that usually does a pretty good job, but just to be sure, they're at 80 foot-pounds. Yeah, that gun's not as stout as my air. Alright. Cool. All right. So one thing we want to make sure we've got, if you guys can see this here, is you have full thread engagement on all of them, but sometimes the wheel stud will stick out. If it does, you've got to mark it and cut it off, and then buff it down flat so that it doesn't mess up your wheel mounting. But we are in good shape here. These studs that were the ones that fit our application are pretty short. So in order to fix that, because they don't make a longer version with the shank diameter we need, or the knurl diameter we need, we're using ET, extended thread lug nuts. So these are going to go on thusly. The other thing you want to check with ETs is on your wheel. Get you guys down here. I'm going to take this and put it through the back side, and you can tell that there is still a little gap there, which is good because we don't want the wheel, we don't want the lug to bottom before the taper does. The Method wheels, we are a Method dealer, so if you need some Methods, give us a holler. Method also helps us out on a lot of our shop projects, so big shout out to Method. Larry and the boys over there always do a great job for us. The Methods have a real thick flange on them, so I generally use the ET style lug nuts with the Methods. Factory style lug nuts don't always work, so the longer ones are my preference. That way you get more thread engagement. So we're gonna mount this wheel, and we'll see how she looks. All right. Same drill, we're going to start the lug nuts by hand. A couple of threads is all it takes. The other thing with these lugs is they don't make these in a spline, which is what we use many times. Is a spline style for security, and just because of the smaller diameter, we could have changed them out, but once again it would have messed up our lugs, and we would have, if the customer had a problem down the road and I wasn't available, it wouldn't be a readily serviceable deal in the field or at another shop if he's not where he can get to me, or if we're not able to get to it quickly. That way if he's on the side of the road, he can go, oh yeah, it's an 87 Chevy, and he can get the lug nut to fit at any tire shop or auto parts store. This one's a little grabby too. I'm not a fan of that. Oh, it's just sitting on it. Okay. Okay. There it goes. Yeah, wheel just wasn't centered good. I generally trust torque sticks. I've had a lot of really good luck with them over the years. But that cordless impact, well, see, it did it that time. That's why you always double check, man. A nice quality torque wrench is money well spent. All right, looking good. All right, let's see if y'all can see this. If you look down, I don't know if the GoPro will catch it, but if you look down the edge of the tire, you can see how it's even with the fender, and you guys probably can't see it from here, but we are really close to the edge of the front tire. By my eyeball, it's like dead on. Now if you look at this side, which we haven't done yet, and you look down the edge of the tire, you can see right there, the front tire poking out quite a bit. So that helps make the truck not look stupid, because that's what we do here. We build cool stuff, not stupid stuff. Thanks for joining us on this episode. Now that the truck is fully exhausted and all squared up, we've just got a few little things to touch on so that we can get it back to our customer. Join us for the next episode where we do final wrap-ups and beauties and walk-arounds. And if you like what we do here, consider supporting us on Patreon. That is one of the ways we're able to afford to make these videos for you. They do take a lot of time and a fair bit of resources to make happen. And we sure appreciate your support. We appreciate you watching. If you like what we do, like and subscribe, and be sure to jump in the comments and tell us what you think. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.